The Honourable Brian Walker.
Thank you, President. A lot of people ask me why I, as a medical practitioner, have actually stood up here for something as like cannabis. And it's true. I mean, many years ago, I, as a properly trained doctor, looked very dubiously at the concept of cannabis ever being used because that's what I had been taught. And what struck me, of course, in my career is if you look at the facts, look what's actually going on, what could we do? And medicine is littered with examples of where we thought we were doing the right thing, but in fact we weren't. Even today, most of our medicine actually is not evidence-based. For example, knee arthroscopies. And so when I discovered that cannabis was actually a very helpful healing herb, which could be misused, I began to open my eyes to, okay, tell me exactly what the science is, because, like you, I also believe in doing things which are right for society, keeping people safe from the harmful things which go on in society. So when I was prescribing this for patients very carefully at first, thinking, what am I doing here? And noticing that there's some surprising benefits, I was actually taken by this. And the studies that have been done, a lot of them actually are really not that good, it must be said. We need more good quality work, and Australia is very good at this. However, I came across this study here from the Americans, the Journal of American Medical Association Pediatrics. Because like you, my purpose in being in politics is because I want to help create a better society, a better life for my children and grandchildren, for our grandchildren. And anything which would cause trouble there is something I would bitterly oppose. So, they did a study here over 10 years, looking at 9th and 10th graders in 47 states in the US, from 2011 to 2021. 900,000 individuals. And what they were looking at here was the use of cannabis, especially with the impact of cannabis legalisation and teen substance abuse. A very important topic, is it not? So what they found here is really quite significant. You see, at that time, 18 states had initiated regulated sales, and now 24 states have actually legalised recreational cannabis. And people might then say it's opening the floodgates to an abuse of a drug and causing damage to our beloved offspring. What they discovered, however, is that there's modest reductions in the use of alcohol, e-cigarettes and cannabis among the teens since legalisation of recreational cannabis. Let me say that again. With legalising cannabis, the use of very toxic substances, alcohol and e-cigarettes, had gone down, and cannabis use had gone down. And furthermore, the legalisation of the retail sales was linked to a decrease in e-cigarette vaping. Now, on the one hand, here we're trying to ban vapes and allowing the imports from China under the table, flooding our state and causing great harm, I must admit. So the legalised, regulated vaping is banned here now, opening our youth here to quite toxic substances. But once we legalise cannabis, we're actually going to see a decrease in e-cigarette use among our teens. We surely must take note of this because we need to keep our population safe. But each additional year of recreational cannabis legalisation was associated with an 8% increase in the odds of zero cannabis use among teens. So when we legalise cannabis, more teenagers are not going to use cannabis. Interestingly, when they legalised retail sales, that zero cannabis use increased to 28%. This is remarkable. We need to take note of this. There was, however, among the existing users of cannabis, an increase of 26% in the frequency after legalisation of sales. Okay, this is good science. They're making clear observations, and this suggests that we need to look at these facts differently and begin to ask ourselves, can we protect our young people better if we change the existing legislation? And the evidence here suggests, yes, we can. So the question I'd be putting here to Parliament and indeed to the public is, we need to think of this with new eyes, new ears, new brains, new thinking, because what we are doing right now is not helping.